In just a couple of weeks, the school year will begin. The Miami-Dade and Broward school districts, however, are dealing with a renewed conflict over face masks.
This week, the Broward School Board voted unanimously to mandate masks in schools. Friday, the governor signed an executive order outlawing such mandates to give parents the choice. The district heard from many of those parents.
This is what's holding him back from learning. I had to hire a tutor so that my son could learn proper reading dictation because he's not getting it in school.
I'm so excited to go back to school, but I don't want to go if I have to wear a mask all day.
This is wrong of what you're doing to our children. Our children do not want to even go to school. My son told me if he has to wear a mask, he wants to quit.
We, the parent, the taxpayers alone, have the authority to decide for our children. Not you, not the CDC. We, the parents, do.
Some very concerned parents there. Dr. Rosalind Osgood is the chair of the Broward County School Board. She joins us now live. Dr. Osgood, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Michael, and glad to be with you this morning.
Thank you. All right, well, let's just go over what happened this week. Wednesday, you and every other member of the Broward County School Board voted to require masks for staff, for kids, staff at Broward County schools. Then Friday, the governor said, no, he issued the executive order. You really have no choice but to comply with his executive order, do you?
No, we don't. And Michael, all of the board members expressed that we initially were going to move forward with masks being optional until we got the information from the Center for Disease Control. As we know, all great leaders must be willing to confront unequivocally the major anxiety of their people in their time. And right now, that anxiety is the coronavirus that continues to mutate. We have the Alpha variant, Beta variant, and now the Delta variant, which is 90% more contagious than all the others.
Right, we just heard, we just heard Dr. Andrews, an expert, go through how exactly dangerous it is. So I think the question that we want to know from you is, if you can't require kids or teachers, staff to wear masks in school, how are you going to keep the kids safe?
Well, we're going to work very aggressively to strongly encourage our parents and our students to wear masks and to get vaccinated. It is very important that adults and children get the vaccination at this time. This Delta variant is very serious. We received numerous emails, over 100, from parents and staff wanting masks, wanting us to have mandate masks. People like Nicole Hanna from Pompano High, very concerned. Another parent, Myrna Gross, who has asthma, is concerned about her children getting the coronavirus and then bringing it back home to her. So we have to try to balance the two, but overall, as leaders, our soul and our conscience has to guide our decisions, and it always has to be to protect people in every way that we can.
Yeah, I was interested in hearing you talk about these emails and communications that you've received. The clips of sound that we played at the beginning, the lineup of people who spoke at the school board against their choice to have their kids wear masks. You called it at the school board, and you said that was almost an insurrection, were your words. What did you mean by that?
So on Tuesday, that was the day before you saw those parents speaking. On Tuesday, we had a crowd of people that were very aggressive, burning masks in front of the school building. They came in wearing the masks. Once they got inside, they removed their masks. They started yelling. They started being very, very vulgar in their conversation and, threatening toward the staff. It really reminded me of what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. And that's why I suspended all school board action at that time in an abundance of caution to clear the building, to remove that potential violent crowd from the building. I did not want it to escalate. We had a boardroom with board members. We had several staff, security people in the lobby trying to ask them to maintain some type of decorum and follow the school board policy. And then I had 14 floors of employees. We couldn't just not take a risk on something happening and having some similar situation at the Broward County Public Schools when we're trying to model good behavior for our students.
Yeah. Dr. Osgood, let me ask you about all the Broward County teachers, staff members, cafeteria workers. Obviously, the BTU was very supportive of the mask policy that you enacted. And I know from a statement from Anna Fusco, the BTU president, she's not happy with the governor. So what is your message to your teachers and your staff now about wearing a mask? You encourage them all to just voluntarily wear a mask?
We are still strongly encouraging all of our staff, our Broward Teachers Union, our FOPE union, all of our unions are in favor of wearing masks. Many of our employees have pre-existing conditions that they want to be protected. We are strongly encouraging all staff and all students to wear masks. And we're asking parents, even if you're thinking about sending your child without a mask, to reconsider. It's a basic principle, Michael. We wear masks because we love our neighbors. I wear my mask not only to protect myself, but to protect my community and my neighbors. I wouldn't want to risk their lives of contracting the virus. And I'm fully vaccinated, but we have to think about safety. We have to think about human lives. And I represent a very heavy populated African-American district. And when I look at statistics in Broward County now, where African-Americans 45 years of age and under make up 30% of the population, but they make up 70% of the new the new coronavirus cases, I have to take a strong stand and encourage the community all over to protect themselves. We know that mask is not a cure, but it has been proven to be something that will help us and minimize our chances of spreading the virus, the coronavirus, as well as catching it.
Dr. Osgood, I want to, with that said, I want to read you something right out of the executive order, which the governor entitled, the executive order titled Ensuring Parents' Freedom to Choose. And within the body of the copy of that executive order, it says that those that did not require students to be masked, schools that did not require students to be masked, did not drive community transmission. And then it cites a Brown University study, an analysis that said COVID-19 data for schools found no correlation with mask mandates. That's in the executive order. How do you hear that?
Well, I hear that, and when we think about the number of students that's been in school since the epidemic, many schools were closed. In Broward County, we closed first and opened last. When you look at data, I would wonder what was their end? What was the population that they surveyed? What's the geographical location? If that data was taken from a population in Florida, and what representation of the community is that data? It's very important when we analyze data that we have a good sample that's representative of the entire community. A lot of times we do a small sample and it does not give the accurate information of the entire community. I would say that we know that schools are a safe place because before we were able to implement the 6 feet of social distancing with small numbers of students being back in school. And even when larger numbers came back, we had an option to do hybrid models where many students were still online. And we know that they paid a tremendous price for that academically. So right now, we don't have an option. The executive order that the governor put into place that allowed us to do hybrid or online learning expired. So we don't have that option. Parents don't have that choice. So now with class size being about 26 students plus a teacher, that's 27 students back in a class, it is physically impossible to manage a classroom with 6 feet of social distancing and 3 feet of social distancing. So you're forcing all of the students and teachers back in school, and we all agree that we need to be back in face-to-face learning. The precaution that we have to provide a measure of safety is the mask, wearing the mask.
Yeah,
Understood.
we hear you, Dr. Osgood, and We certainly hope that people will voluntarily wear their masks. And by the way, next weekend, we hope to have Dr. Vicki Cartwright, your new interim superintendent, here on This Week in South Florida. Dr. Osgood, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.